In an ocean of podcasts, we are Cthulhu. And this is Spoiler Country at San Diego Comic-Con.
All right. Welcome back to Spoiler Country. I'm Kendrick, and that is Johnny Orsley, and that just ran right together. So there you guys go.
It did.
But today is a bonus episode because we got so much stuff at San Diego
Right.
Comic-Con. We have 3 fantastic interviews for you guys today. The first one is going to be with Beyond Reality Media. The second one is going to be with Travis Webb. And the third one will be with Man versus Rock.
Well, and it's funny you said it like that because that's kind of how the guy talked.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, we had we talked about throwing all 3 of these into the Sunday episode.
Yeah.
But that would have been 6 interviews in one episode.
Yeah, back to back
and
to back
I
to
kind
back.
of feel like that'd have just been too much. I mean, it would have taken focus away from the other people.
Yeah.
This way, everybody has a little bit more focus, and it's going to come out with I think a better overall episode and a better overall experience for everyone.
Totally. So let's just get right into this because there's 3 distinct interviews, and we just want to get this out there for you guys. So that's right. Beyond Reality Media.
Okay. I want to make sure the time-traveling tourist.
What's the name of the company? Or the publisher? Beyond Reality.
Yeah, because is it the publisher that brings you guys here? It's you.
I am the publisher.
Oh, you do.
He
okay.
is the guy.
You are everything.
I publish it, I wrote it, I direct it, so to speak, edit it, and do all the other stuff. I just don't draw it. I tend to work with other people on all but one of the books. I'm working with somebody. So.
Okay.
So, and what is your name?
My name's it's William Gerrards, but Bill Gerrard.
Yes.
Bill. All right. So, and what kind of books do you guys have?
So when we set out, we wanted to be more. We wanted to put out books that were the quality of Marvel, but different books that stood it out. And rather than sitting down for one style where we're doing horror books or we're doing superhero books, we have 3 sort of genres that we push. We have the Warden and One Must Break, which is our superhero books. Okay. And they're superheroes leading towards more gothic. And then there's Attica, which is our mythology books. And they're more pacifism and Greek gods. Okay. So it's a different kind of beast. And then there's the biggest ones, which are the World of the Duncans. And we have 3 books: the Inspiration Duncans, the Time Traveling Tourist, and the Darwin Fairies.
Those all go together?
Well, all those 3 books are separate, but they sort of they share a similar thread. And then we did Pre-Apocalypse 1 and 2, Now Apocalypse, and Post-Apocalypse is being done. Okay. And those 4 books are the Time Traveling Tourist, Darwin Fairies, Inspiration Duncans, all combined into one big story.
So they're in the same universe, but they're doing their own thing.
Essentially, Iron Man, Captain America, and Thor, and then we did the Avengers.
Okay.
Nice, perfect. I like it.
That's pretty much there's similar connections, but this much.
So what is your best seller?
Time Traveling Tourist.
The one we can't buy.
Right.
Yeah.
When it is because it is a really amazing book. We stopped by the booth yesterday and we spoke with Natasha. She just raved about it so much.
And you gave us a sample book, which I looked through earlier, which looks great. I wish you had a full one for me to take home with me.
I'll email her one too.
Perfect.
But the Time Traveling Tourist, there's a couple of reasons it's the best. It's the most popular one. Darwin Fairies is very close behind, but the Time Traveling Tourist, 1, the title sounds great.
It does.
Right? 2, the first 8 pages are designed specifically to hook you, and they really do. I mean, they're just fun, and then we get to the story bit. So the fun, it's a clip show at the beginning of fun stuff. And the main character, which is Beethoven Jones, is just honestly a delight to read, and he was a hell of a lot of fun to write.
Right.
Because he's one of those characters that tells you which direction he needs to go. Like if you're in an area and something serious is going to happen, he's not going to treat it as a serious problem. There's a scene in Now Apocalypse where he sees zombies, and so he rushes over so he can get a selfie with them.
I think some people would actually do that.
Yeah.
Right?
It's like, I need to get a picture with these things, so we're doing this. And so his actions, it's one of the things I've discovered in the 7 years we've been doing this. Like Warden started off as this very simple Superman book,
right,
with a I don't want to spoil there's a nice big twist at the beginning of the book. I'm not a big fan of twists at the end. I'm not M. Night Shyamalan ding dong. I tend to do things earlier. So there's about 50 pages in, this sets up the what's going to happen. But as soon as you do that, we started asking questions about, okay, this effect, you've got the Warden and Dr. Merciless, the main villain. And Merciless has his family, Mercy and Andy and Mandy. And then it's what affects them and what happens to them and so forth. And it was surprising to me in writing. I had the core story, and that stayed exactly the same. But the way we get there and the characters that are around it have said what they needed to do. There was like the question got asked, what's happening to Andy? Okay, Andy needs to be doing this because that's his drive, that's his dynamic.
Right.
And so it's been, by the time we get to volume 3, because we've done 3 volumes of The Warning, Andy's the new Merciless, and he's got a whole different outfit, and he's got a whole different drive, and he's the best character in the book, in my opinion, and he was the shittiest one at the beginning.
It's funny how that works out.
Yeah, and it's purely because the character itself has dictated where he needs to go. And
That's cool.
Beethoven in Time Traveling Tourist is the opposite of that. He cruises along, but he reacts really well with most things. So it's a fun thing to do.
That's really cool. Yeah, what caught my attention and hers we walked by was the postcards.
Oh yeah.
They're just so funny.
We do them through all of the stuff, and what we do is we look for moments in history. Like in the Now-Apocalypse book, we had to put the photo, the postcard of him with the zombies. In the further along, it goes greetings from the Esther. And so we look for stuff in history that's dangerous but funny. And there's a story on... So we try to be as historically accurate as we can, but we're not really historically accurate. We're not,
right.
So there's a story that I read about the River Esther. And Napoleon was retreating after Waterloo. And he goes over the bridge, and the order goes back to blow the bridge once all the troops are over and to stop the English from coming after them. And that gets passed from the general to a captain to a corporal. And eventually this corporal gets it, and he blows the bridge while they're still going across it. Right? As happens. And so there's a picture of Beethoven standing there with the photo with the Esther being blown up behind him, because that's the kind of stuff he does.
Perfect.
He's a selfie kind of character.
Well, with the time-traveling tourist, if you go to Egypt, you don't fall to your knees in front of the pyramids and weep for all the slaves that died building the thing.
Right.
You take a selfie in front of it.
Very true, very true.
Right? The only difference is he's from the future. So everybody's been dead 1,000 years. So even if he's in the past, he's not there to change anything. It's happened, it's been done. Bad things happen, good things happen. It all evens out. So he's just there to take in the moment. So he tends to take in the moment when stuff happens and goes wrong.
That's cool.
It's not a mean approach, it's just an abstract one because he's beyond it, but not in a mean way.
That sounds really cool.
Yeah, and he's a fun one. And then Darwin Fairies is our next most popular book, and that's mainly because of Violet of the Fae, who's just a particularly driven, hard-nosed character. And when we started doing all of the books, we were very conscious we weren't going to be a TNA book. We didn't want to... I like boobs. I'm happy to have boobs in books. Right. But we didn't want to be the one to sell... That wasn't the thing we were going to sell.
Right.
So, Violet of the Fae is modeled on my daughter, Violet. And so I was like, well, I'm not having a busty character.
Right.
So she's modestly proportioned. She's,
She's dressed in armor.
Like a woman.
Yeah, and she's in armor and stuff. And they're all the kilts. Everybody's in a kilt, and
right.
Even the guys are in kilts.
Yeah.
So it's a Scottish fighting pirate fairies. We had
yes, which is a mouthful, but funny as hell.
It is.
Well, it's been great because I've been looking for old Scottish insults. My favorite is "Dún the D on the digestive," which is pretty much "Do you think I'm stupid?" "Dún the D on the digestive, you numpty cow." Which is, "Do you think I'm stupid, you dumb B word?"
Right. So, that's funny.
That's
I used to put swearing in there with the mean thing.
It has to just be above their head, so you get it.
Like
Kids don't.
Sacha Baron Cohen puts a lot of Yiddish swear words in his stuff because it goes over a lot of people's heads, except for the Jewish people, and they think it's hilarious.
It's like their own little inside joke.
If you read it, if you get it, so So putting old Scottish abusing words in it is just great.
So how many other cons have you done outside of the U.S.?
We do. I run shows in New Zealand called Armageddon Expo, and we've done that.
Yes,
And
we did hear a little bit about that.
couple in Australia. We did New York here a couple of times, and this is our second year in San Diego, and we've just booked in for the third.
Fantastic.
So, and we're building it. This is a significantly different booth to what we had last year, and next year will be even more so. We're getting the feel for what we need to do and what works. I mean, the fact that we got 3 books and we've only got 2 hours to go left is pretty sweet.
That's just fantastic. Is there a big difference between the U.S. and the UK or the EU cons?
I did do a show in London. I can't really speak for the London audience because the show I did was more of a pop culture show, and what we did okay.
That's what this is kind of turning into.
We've had some people say that we should go to the Paris con in February. There's a Paris comic thing. I'm just not sure European styling would work. I mean, one of our books, Attica, is more designed in the European aesthetic. So we're hoping that might do well there, but it's in English, so I don't know if a French thing would work or not.
You ever thought about going to Seattle? Emerald City Comic Con?
It's expensive to come to America just for us. It's a long-ass way to come.
Yeah.
And to get here for even this is hard. And this is Mount Everest.
Yeah.
It really is.
So I think anything else is, if we were here, maybe. I mean, I was toying with going to Gallifrey Doctor Who convention with the Time Traveling Tourist book, because I thought that might actually do quite well there, just for obvious connections.
Probably fit in.
Yeah. But yeah, it's that aesthetic of we want to get these out there. We want people to license them. We want more stuff out. We're finally on Diamond. We got 3 of our books on Diamond, so that's a big thing for us.
Congratulations.
Yeah, that's just happened. So we're spending some money on advertising on Diamond as well.
That'll put you in American comic shops and everywhere.
It at least gets us in the door. But it's really hard when you're in New Zealand.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as I can tell, there's no Australian creators here at all.
No.
And that's
really.
We do know an Australian.
I mean, there's some that might be attending, but not exhibiting.
Yeah, we know a couple of artists who are living in America now from Australia, like Ben Templesmith and stuff.
Well,
but
Tom Taylor's the writers here, but in terms
no
of
publishers,
in terms of people who are doing their own work, we are it for the Southern Hemisphere. Oh, that's Tom.
Yeah, he's coming down to see you soon. He's a busy man.
Yeah,
that's great.
But yeah, it's hard to. This is a 7-year journey, and I knew it wouldn't be an overnight success, because even overnight successes take 10 years.
Yeah, exactly.
So our aim has been to chip away at it, slowly build it up, and we've got enough titles, we've got enough content to really make it work. And we're unique enough, and we found that, like last year I didn't promote the New Zealand aspect much, but I found that it was something that people were interested in. So this year we made sure it was a big part of what we're doing.
Yeah. And
next year it'll be even more so, because people love Kiwis. And that's a thing that if we can use that to get our foot in the door a bit more, then I'm all for it. But it is an interesting industry. And even just walking around here, a lot of the comic guys that are here do multiple shows.
Yes.
And that is a bit easier when you're local.
Yeah.
It's still hard, though. So I'm impressed they do it. But for us, I wouldn't mind doing more, but I can't afford to fly up here.
It's a lot.
It's just getting the stock here is hard enough.
So you do, you have your own in New Zealand, and then what is your next closest one?
October.
Okay.
Yeah, Auckland, which is our big one.
Nice. And where can people find you guys online?
We are just Beyond Reality Media. We're mainly doing most of our stuff through Facebook lately. But beyondrealitymedia.com, you can come. That sends you to all our details.
Or search Facebook Beyond.
We're pretty straightforward. And you type in the Time Traveling Tourist or the Darwin Ferries, you'll find us as well. I mean, they're pretty specific names nowadays.
I'll have links to that down in the show notes for everybody to click on to and go right to. Thank you very much for your time, so I appreciate that.
Thank you very much.
And I hope you sell your last 3 books.
Yes.
We will.
All right, we're back.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So time traveling tours, which is funny because when they first told us about that book, because of the accent being from New Zealand, it's not they were saying time traveling terrorist,
Right.
which would be a totally different book.
Right.
Because this book's all about a guy who time travels to get selfies in front of like the pyramids and shit, not be a terrorist.
No, that's funny. I wasn't there because you guys did this on
Yeah.
Sunday, and I skipped out on
Yeah.
Sunday because I was
Yeah.
That was burnt, man. I was done. But you guys did a wonderful job. Thanks for doing that.
Yeah, no problem. We had some fun. Kid and I walked around and did our thing, and it was a lot of fun. Yeah, so because of their accents, it was all fun because they say, I don't know, some of the words they say are the same words
like
we say.
Tourist and terrorist, yeah.
Right, I'm like, oh, not terrorist, tourist. Got it. But it was cool. It was a lot of fun.
That sounds awesome. So
yeah.
Then we talked to your buddy that you've been friends with for quite a while. He's a writer, and he's actually written a story in the Einz anthology. It takes place, I think, during World War II, or is it World War I?
World War I, yeah. Written by Travis Webb, drawn by the amazing Greg Warrenchak, and inked by me.
There you go. So here's Travis Webb in his own words.
Recording.
All right.
We are here with Travis. Travis, why don't you tell us who you are?
My name is Travis Webb, and I'm a writer.
Perfect. Nice and concise. So, Kenrick, you know the story I sent you of the World War I Einz story?
Yeah.
That Greg drew and I inked?
Yeah.
He's the writer.
Greg Smith drew it?
No, Greg Smith is the writer. Greg Warrenchak drew it.
Oh, okay. Greg Warrenchak. Greg Smith wishes that he can draw like Greg Warrenchak.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay,
so
got it.
Travis was the writer of that story.
Oh, that's a good story, too. That's cool.
Thanks. I'm also a writer with Greg Smith. We did a series together.
Yeah, they have a new series. I read the script
That is
for
perfect.
it. Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah.
I have a story in Einz as well.
Oh, yeah. Which one did you do?
It's a 1-page, no, it's a 2-page.
No, it's 4 pages.
Is it 4 pages?
Yeah.
It's a 4-page. He didn't have a Christmas story one. So I did it.
Christmas story.
Yeah. So I was like, you don't have a Christmas story? He's like, no. And I'm like, perfect. I'll do the one for the 90s era, and I'll do a Christmas one with Krampus.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
nice.
I'll say it this way. It's actually pretty good. I say it that way because it's his first time writing a comic script.
Yeah.
Nice.
And it came out very good.
Yeah.
How did that feel writing a comic script?
It felt good. Yeah. I've written stuff before, you know what I mean? And I have like 30 unfinished books.
Don't we all?
I get like 2 chapters in, and I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. So a 4-page comic was perfect.
Easy. My problem is I was trying to write, I don't know if you remember, but I was trying to write 4 pages.
You couldn't do it.
And no matter how much I cut it down, it just would not. I'm so trained to write 24 pages.
Yeah.
Because I've done so many pieces that were 24 pages long that I usually flow through. I puke on the page the first time through, lands at 24 pages. And I'm like, oh, I gotta cut this down to 4 pages.
Your mind's already preset.
Well, we got down to 16.
We got down to 16, and then we got down to 12, and you're like, and I read it, I'm like, man, 12 feels like it's missing. Yeah. And I'm like, just do 16. Just do 16.
16's perfect, concise. It tells a story, sets up a world, you know. So
Yeah.
It's weird.
See, I got a world set up, and I got a story. You feel the backstory, even though it's not accurately, you know what I mean? It's not set up, but you know the backstory by just the simple conversation she has. And then you're like, oh,
well,
perfect.
I cheated. I just took a point out of history and put them in Gallipoli.
Yeah,
that was perfect, though. That's a great one.
Yeah, they're in Gallipoli. Oh, okay.
So what else are you working on, Travis?
So I just finished up a series with Greg Smith from Junior Scouts of the Apocalypse.
Yep.
Should we plug him? August 8th. Volume 2.
Volume 2, August 8th comes out.
Yeah,
Hell
which
yeah.
is why is he not here with me?
Right.
We were all supposed to come together this year.
I've already given him shit. He lives by me, so I was at his house a couple weeks ago. I'm like, dude, you need to go. He's like, no. I mean, it is his 10th anniversary with his wife, so I get it.
Yeah.
Oh, so I made the joke about it being his 10th anniversary why he's not here. You gave me a bunch of shit for it.
I did.
Travis makes the joke. You're like, oh, yeah, you get all into it.
Well, he's the guest on the show. I got him nice to him.
What a dick.
That's how the game plays. See, and then Brett Waddell, he did the movie. Remember the movie Surrogates?
Yep.
With Bruce Willis? He was the artist for that series.
Oh, cool.
He also does a lot of Philip K. Dick books.
That was a weird movie.
Yeah, the book was a lot better.
Yeah.
And so, so Brett's doing the art. Greg and I wrote the story, and it's a story about what happens when you're a a child superhero. You know, not to mention any names. Power Pack.
Shazam. Sorry.
And you grow up and you become a teenager. Then what happens?
Right.
You know, like how do you cope with that? And we based it a lot on like child superstars.
Whatever happened to Power Pack?
Power Pack?
Yeah, great series run in 2012.
Yeah, it came back for a little while.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah.
The two guys that did Gwenpool last round. Great art, great.
Yeah.
Just a great
It looks
Power Pack
it looks
story.
beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know they did it. I mean, because in the late 80s, it was like, oh, you're reading Power Pack?
What?
Why are you reading
What?
that?
That was my comic. Me and James Gunn right there reading Power Pack together.
Yeah, he sent me the scripts for I think 6
Starlight?
or 7 issues.
7 issues.
Yeah, I've read the first 2 so far.
Are they out now? All 7?
No, not yet. It's not even drawn yet, right?
Yeah, we have some promo art. I'll see if I can send it over to you guys if you guys want it.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
From Mark, from Brett, and actually I'm at the con kind of doing our meets right now and trying to get since it's an independent series with no IP, it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
And also, I'm actually a ghostwriter, and I have an agent. And anytime I bring anything to my agent, I was just telling you this, I bring it to my agent, I'm like, hey man, I want to work on this project I got together, I've started writing. He's like, this is really good. This reminds me of this screenplay over here I'd like you to look at for me. And then, all right, I'll do it. Give me a check,
this
I guess.
has nothing to do with this.
Right.
But it's like, money.
I went to, a couple years ago, I was with William Morris, right at the end of William Morris, when they get bought out by Endeavor, and I actually fell off. I was one of the people that fell off when it went from WMA to WME. But they would send me out to Hollywood, and I would go to these meetings. I swear to you right now, 90% of the meets they would send me to on these schedules, right? I would go there to meet with some big producer. I'd be super excited, right? I don't want to say any names, but we're talking big, like Disney, Big Mouse Big. Yeah. But I would go to the meet,
boy.
and I would think I'm going to meet this big producer or this director, and I would love to say their names. It would be like their friend Mark, who's trying to do a movie project idea. I'm like, why am I here pitching my project to Mark, who has his own movie idea?
Right.
So he spends about 3 minutes. Mark will about 3 minutes telling you who he is. Him and Blah Blah Blue grew up together, went to high school together, all these other things, and he really likes my work. Doesn't remember anything I wrote.
Right. Of course not.
Because he doesn't know.
That thing you did I didn't read is great.
Yeah. And by the way, I have an idea for a movie about this thing, and they start pitching to you.
You're like, what?
And you're just like, oh, yeah, great. And you leave, and you're just like, how do you tell your agent when they ask you how that went? Because it went well for Mark. Yeah. Mark had a great time pitching his new idea to
Last
me.
time I checked, you're not Mark.
Yeah, and that wasn't my screenplay.
Right.
The other one was freaky is I did do a couple meets of Disney, and the first time I did any producers, they have different, houses, right? And the first time I ever went out, they scared the willies out of me a little bit because they pulled a comic book that I actually worked on that I didn't know anyone knew I worked on because there was an NDA on it. And they pulled it out and said, this is some really, and they could pinpoint the stuff I did on how does Disney get past an NDA?
This is why Marvel movies are better than DC right now.
They do the research. Hardcore.
I mean, great food. It was a really great experience, but they also leaked a bunch of information at the time, so I knew this really big project that hadn't gotten even out, any of the dirt sheets or anything. And I was like, so I was telling my friends, like, hey, I think this movie's going to come out. He's like, shh, don't say that anywhere in Hollywood. Everyone here has ears. I'm like,
I didn't sign no NDA.
Yeah, I didn't on that.
There you go.
Yeah, it was crazy. That was a good experience being a writer back then.
That's fun. What I was saying before all of that is I read the first 2 issues of it, and it's fantastic. And I cannot wait to read the last of them. I just haven't had time to get to the last 5.
It's called Starlight?
Yeah. It's a space... Yeah, you can pass it over.
Okay, I'll pass. I'll send it to you.
I want to read it.
Don't pass it to anyone else.
Yeah, no one. So don't ask.
We got NDA.
Unless your name's Kenrick, I'm not giving it to you.
But it's a superheroes, space pirates, aliens, spider, magic creatures, all the usual stuff.
And raves.
And raves.
And raves.
There's raves.
Actual raves.
Yes.
Not EDM dance party things.
No, not festivals.
Right.
Like raves. Hardcore kids with their little
with their binkies and their
binkies.
Dude, I did raves in the early 90s, and it was show up this spot, and then you see a bunch of cars there. They'd hand out flyers, and then the flyer would tell you to go to the next spot, and the next spot would be a down-and-out warehouse, and that's where the rave was at.
Where were you raving at?
In Phoenix.
Oh, nice. I was down in Phoenix at a rave once recently.
Yeah. This was in 94.
Yeah, that was when Phoenix had a really good scene, yeah. Yep. I know that because I used to be a rave promoter in Seattle.
Oh, yes.
That's how I actually got all my initial boost. I owned a little nightclub up there called
rave
Motor.
Promotions back then, that was good money.
Webb works.
Yeah.
That was my old company.
That's
nice.
awesome.
Nice.
Yeah. So
there you go.
I don't know where to go from there.
We go with thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
Coming on, man.
I always say handshakes are great for audio podcasts.
Oh, yeah, because they can totally hear that.
Crunching.
Oh, yeah, crunch.
Crunch.
I have a very
Travis, you're
manly
hurting my hand.
Yeah.
He's a fun guy, man. He's got lots of stories.
Yeah, he's got a lot of stories. He's seems to have some experiences in the industry.
Yeah,
which is cool.
He does.
Yeah.
He invited us to a couple hotel parties over the weekend that I don't know, man. I think I'm just too old for hotel parties these days. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe too old, or I was just so worn out. I don't think I could have done it anyways.
Right. His party started at 11 p.m. and I was like, that sounds fun, but I'll be
passed out.
Asleep by midnight.
Right.
Yeah, I want to be out.
We are
get up early tomorrow.
We are so old. But that was cool.
Oh,
I'm
man.
actually interested to see if he reads my story, what he thinks.
Oh, he will. He will. I'll send it over to him. He will read it.
Yeah. I told him I want an honest review, too. No
Yeah,
bullshit.
Travis is a no bullshit kind of guy, man. He'll tell you if it sucks or not.
Yeah. And then...
I mean,
go ahead.
Don't believe me. Don't believe me. Believe somebody else, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Isn't that how it goes, though? Isn't that the most frustrating thing in life when you're talking to somebody that's been your friends for years and you're like, I'm not going to steer you wrong, man, and you're telling them da-da-da-da-da, and they just don't believe it, and then some complete stranger comes up and says the exact same thing you said, and all of a sudden it's the word of God.
Right, exactly. Come on, man. Fuck you.
Yeah, I hate that shit. I mean, everybody's guilty of doing that.
Oh, I know. I know I do it, too. I know. And honestly, though, in regards to like a story like this, it might be better to take somebody else's opinion who's not your friend, Yeah, totally. Because I don't want to be mean to you.
Well,
even though I truly believe it's a good story, I truly mean what I said.
Yeah, I think it's fun.
There's still a bias.
Right. It's hard not to.
Yeah.
Right.
So you're so pretty.
The last interview we have for you is with a guy, and his story is man versus rock.
Yep. And before we start this, I'll just say the reason why we decided to record this one is we were literally walking by, and I said to Keely, "Who looks interesting to talk to?" And this guy goes, "Hey, want to hear about Man vs. Rock?" I'm like, "You want to record it?" And he said, "Okay." So we did it.
Nice. And the only reason why we're saying it's a guy about Man vs. Rock is because, honestly, he says his name at the last minute, and Johnny didn't write it down.
Right. So I apologize. Insert your name here. Your pitch was great. Your book looks awesome. Let's go ahead and take a listen to you give the pitch. All right, go ahead. Tell us your pitch.
All right, so this is an insane comedy about an insane geologist named Buck Stone who thinks rocks are going to rise up and kill us all. Why? Well, let's go back to the beginning, folks. In a world where humans used and abused rocks from the dawn of humanity, no wonder the rocks want to get their revenge. Did we crucify Jesus? No, we crucified a rock instead. Here for you, rock. Rocks are sinners. Let a rock hat lead with me, wife. The townfolk yelled at the rock. And when they landed on Plymouth Rock, did they kiss it tenderly like the history books told us? No, they humiliated it and tried to impregnate it. And when they're waterboarding people in Gitmo, who is the first in line? The rocks. Now it's only a matter of time, and one honky's got the stones to stop them. Buck Stone. But don't worry, there's also a strong female lead. He'll say ridiculous things like, "Rocks don't wear bras." She's like, "Well, screw you, 'cause neither do I, dick." "Oh, snizzabs. Go ahead and burn those bras, girl."
That was beautiful.
That was great.
That was wonderful.
Now tell us a little bit about you. What's your name?
My name's Victor. Last name, government watch list. I can't disclose it.
But yet you registered for Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Have it on your badge.
Oh yeah, Victor Detroit. That's my name.
There you go.
Oh goddammit! I should have redacted that.
Victor, beep. We'll edit that out.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We won't. So do you write and draw this?
We're the writers and creators. Yeah. Our
Nice.
artist, he used to be in San Diego. He just moved, so he's in North Carolina, so he couldn't be here with us. So.
Lame.
Yeah, lame. You can punch us now if you'd like.
No, I don't want to punch anybody. I'm too tired for that. It would be like a little slap. It wouldn't be worth it.
It'd be weekly, and
Yeah.
that's the thing I've noticed when people walking by right now. It's like everyone's all energetic the first couple days, and right now it's just like we're half-heartedly trying to give our pitches, and
Right.
everyone's half-hearted being like, "Oh yeah, it's
Although that
pretty
pitch was
fun."
perfect. That was very wholeheartedly.
I brought my energy up for you guys because
We-
you guys
we-
are special.
we appreciate
I don't fuck
that.
around when it comes to the Milk Geek comics.
There you go. Perfect. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I was going to just say, so Mill Geek is who sponsors us, and we're Spoiler Country.
I don't fuck around when it comes to spoiler country.
Perfect. How's the show been for you?
It's been good, yeah. No, people like it. We had a bunch of stuff that come out. Every year we try to get more because we have a lot of fans that come back, and if we
Right.
don't get new stuff, they get pissed at us.
Exactly.
And
yeah.
I respect that, you know? So we try to pump shit out. It's what motivates us. So we had, we actually sold out of it. We had a comic about Kim Jong-un running for president of the United States.
Totally plausible these days.
Yeah, exactly. It's his name is yeah. So we had that one. That was quite popular. We have a little novel we did, a collection of short stories, inappropriate and ridiculous and juvenile, just like Man vs. Rock.
Perfect kind of book for me.
exactly. It's a good thing to read on an airplane when you're brain dead and you just need something stupid and you don't want to stare at a screen anymore. Yeah.
Or any day after work for me.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. For sure.
Perfect, man. Thanks for your time, man. That was great.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Rock on.
Because handshakes are wonderful for podcasts.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, dude, it's hilarious, man. It's hilarious. So, there you go. That's our quick extra SDCC 2018 episode with a couple more interviews because we did too many, but that's a good problem to have.
Right?
That's a good problem
too much content? What?
Yeah.
No way. We could always have more content. All right, I think that's a show.
Right. That's a show,
right? Right? We're quick and dirty, get it in and get it out, right?
Quick and dirty, get it out, man. We're done. We're good.
There you go. All right, guys. Don't forget you can hear us anywhere podcasts are heard.
Yep. You can talk to us on Twitter at spoiler_country. You can hit us up on Facebook, on Instagram. Man, how come on the outro, my part's much longer than yours?
I have no idea. It just kind of worked out that way.
Is it to make up for all the talking you do during the regular episode so I can feel important?
I'm not going to say anything. I'm not saying a word. No,
right.
I don't know why.
You can talk.
You know what?
I don't know
Facebook. Why it's that way. It's just worked out that way.
It always has been. I think I just kind of took on the talk to us part because I do it real fast and kind of clear, and I don't know. I just like it that way.
Yeah. You do have that.
Anyways, you can call us at
lawyer subtitle, reading the subtext underneath after the commercial kind of feel to it.
You can email us at spoilercountry@gmail.com. Hit us up at our website, sepod.net, for reviews and more shit. You can call us, leave a voicemail at 707-656-2080. Again, 707-656-2080. Leave us a voicemail. We'll do something with them sometime fun. Up next on the show, we're going to have the Titans trailer not reaction, but kind of like our thoughts about the characters and stuff. That's going to come out on later this week. So look forward to that.
Keep a lookout for that one.
Yeah.
So generic.
And now I'm going to go run my errands.
There you go. All right, guys. Don't forget, open your mind and
read more. See ya.
Do you like doing that?